We're going to be putting down some static grass on the layout rehab right now on Reid's Train Stuff. Hello and welcome to Reid's Train Stuff, model railroad basics. So if you're building a model railroad and you want some tips and ideas, or you just like watching trains run around, well, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified of my upcoming videos. Well, welcome back, or hello if it's your first time here. Today we're continuing on with my layout rehab little series, where I'm going to be putting down some static grass on the front of the layout, and this will be exciting because I've never done static grass in my life before. So I'm going to be learning, and hopefully you'll be able to learn something too. So well, let's get into it, eh? Alright, so what we're going to do now in this layout rehab mine is just fix up this area. The ground there is it's just a bit old. Like I said, I did it about 9-10 years ago, something like that, if not longer. I gave it a refresh a couple of years ago, but still using some old techniques. And I see it's a lot darker if you saw us in person than it is in this video. And I don't know if you can see, there's like these little holes everywhere, like, because I literally have never stuck a tree down on this layout, and I've moved them around, I've bumped them, they've just fallen over, so I've moved them. So I've got all that. So anyway, what we're going to do, I've got this old sanding sponge, and I'm just going to rub the sanding sponge along here. I'm going to get a lot of the bulkier stuff off, and then we'll continue on. Alright, so I've gone over and just roughened it out and gave it a vacuum up to get all the crap off it. And so as you can see, you can really notice these holes. I'll just focus in. So I've gone along and I've put some of the blue painter's tape over the track, because I don't really want to get all the senior material over there. You can see a few more big gaps and things there. So what we'll do over here. Alright, so one thing I'm going to do, I'm just getting a bit of that old foliage that I ripped up. I'm just going to plug some of these holes up a little bit. So especially some of these big ones, the smaller ones you don't have to worry about it, but that'll do that. A bit there. So these ones are okay. And if it sticks up a bit, doesn't really matter, it just adds a bit of to the terrain. So alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to lay down my first layer of the scenery. I'm just going to put on some real dirt. So all I do for that, I'm just going to get some PVA or white glue, and I'm just going to cover this area with that. Alright, so I've got that nice coating of the white glue over that. There's little gaps, but I'm not overly worried about that. So what I've got here, I've just got some really fine dirt I've just sifted through, which I'll put a link to one of the videos in my diorama where I showed you a bit more about that. So then I just get it in this little sieve and just place it down. Alright, so that's the dirt now. I'm just going to let that dry. Once it dries, I'll vacuum it up, and whatever's left will just be a nice even coating of dirt as my base layer. So we'll continue on shortly. Alright, so we've got the base layer of the dirt down, and you've seen I've removed all that blue painter's tape I had over the track. And okay, I've left it over the points of turnouts and the little hand ground throws, because I don't want to get static grass into there. But I'm probably, because I had it so low, it's left these dead straight lines right next to the ballast, which I'm going to come and fix that up later once the static grass in. Nice, easy, not hard to do. So alright, so for the static grass, for my first layer, I'm putting down basically it's a mix of my 2mm light green Woodland Scenics, and then I got this from my niece, who had a little project for a school, and she bought this knock, what is it, there we go, if I can focus it in, yeah, for you to see, of its cow pasture, and it's a mix of 2.5mm to 6mm, but the colours, that's that, I don't know, it's a bit European-y for my liking, so I've mixed it up with that. So we've just got a little bit here. It's about probably a 2-to-1 ratio of the 2mm Woodland Scenics is the 2 and 1 part of the knock stuff. So I think it comes out, it just gives a nice, it's not as bright and green as the knock is by itself, but it still gives a nice difference in colour. So what we're going to do, I'm going to when I put this down, I'm actually going to be leaving like a gap along the rails for where the static grass is still there, even though this is just like a short line. Well, they still run a weeder occasionally, so they're around the main line, not much grass, while down closer into like the little siding area, it'll be right up to the right up and over the track. So anyway, let's get into this. This is like my first real attempt at doing static grass, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. So anyway, alright, so I've just got just using the white PVA glue. I'm just going to spread it out. Going to get right up into right down. Let's put it right onto these rocks too. Right there. Oh, see where I was sort of up here, I'm just going to randomly do it so it's doesn't have any flat lines. Alright, so there's the VVA down. As I've sort of left a few patches there just with the dirt showing through. So I said if I don't like it I can add some more later, or with the other layers of scenery we put on. We'll see how it turns out. So alright, let's get into doing this static grass. Right, so I've got my homemade static grass applicator. Get a nice little amount in there. Yeah. Excuse me. Okay, so you see, make sure the light's on. Oop, don't hit the camera. Right, so then we'll start applying the static grass. So that's the static grass going down for my first layer. I'll continue on with this and we'll get back to it, eh? Okay, so that's the base first layer, whatever you want to call it, of the static grass down, of the 2mm. As you see where I've left it where near the tracks, there's nothing there. Plenty of few little dirt patches here and there. I'll sort of just pan it round over there, and you can see further down where I've got it coming right up to the tracks, where eventually I'll probably have some stuff going across. So yeah, what we're going to do now, I've got been to my local hobby shop, and a big shout out to Andrew and Steve and the rest of the gang down there at Woodpecker Model Railways in Pendle Hill in Sydney. So if you're ever in Sydney, go and give the boys a shout. They probably won't give you a discount. They'll probably charge you more just for knowing me. So anyway, what I've got is I've made a mix of medium green and straw in the 4mm. So what I'm going to do is just add this around and just randomly put it on, so it's just random bits of grass. So there's 2mm there and everything. So anyway, what I'm going to do, I've done a test run on this where I'm just using some watered down PVA, not like it's just, I've got a wet brush and I've just got it down. I'll just tap it in like this. Now some people will probably go, oh, you shouldn't do that, but I did a quick test run on it and it seemed to work quite well, so I'm happy with that. So there, bit of a gap. Some of the taller stuff down there. Yeah, like I said, so you just randomly put it on, so. Alright, so as you can see, all I've done there, I've just randomly stippled it on, and anyway, it'll give a different, so you've got the shorter grass and the 4mm grass, and we can add other things in between. So we get the old get the static grass applicator. I'll put in some of my mix, and just to put it on. Right now, that just looks like a gigantic mess, but I'll give it a little time to dry. And I found with this 4mm stuff, I'm using this homemade applicator, that give it a little bit, you vacuum it up using a bit of stocking over your vacuum to collect the stuff that hasn't stuck, and then actually go over it again, and it'll just fill it in nicely. So we'll be back soon. We'll see how that goes. Alright, I thought I'd just take it off the tripod and just give you a look of how that's worked out. So you can see the difference. If I can use my finger, so where you got the taller grass here and you've got the lower 2mm grass there. If I come down, look at this angle, you can really notice the difference. So yeah, so I think that's come out really well. I said there's more detail to go on it, but I said that's just the second part of layering it. So now I'm going to just continue on with that, and we'll get onto something else. Alright, so there's a shot coming right back from the layout. See what I've done. I'll just go in and have a better look. So as you can see, I've added all these little dark green little bits, and what that was actually was, let me see if I can find it. when I was using that knock stuff, let me see if we can focus in, it actually had like these leaves in it, which obviously too big to come through my little strainer. And I thought, oh, if I just put those around, give a bit of like bushes. So what I did, I just put it on and I literally just pushed it into the static grass. And I thought it gives a bit of that extra darker colour just randomly. And as you can see the difference in the heights of the grasses. So it gives it, and you've got the dirt patches. And you sort of come up closer to where the siding tracks are, coming right up. I'm actually going to eventually go over there. And you can really see the height difference. So, and you can also just notice looking at this compared to the colouring at the back, I think it looks 5,000 times better. So anyway, that's where I'm going to leave this one, and we'll be back later to show some more. Alright, there's adding static grass to your layout. As I said, I'd never done it before, so that was a learning experience for me, and I hope you've learnt some stuff along the way as well. I think it's very simple. It's just using the same techniques like I've always used doing my scenery, and I'll put a link up here to some other scenery videos I've done which might help you out. But those things like when the layering it, like putting the 2mm grass down first and then putting the 4mm. Now obviously if you're going at a larger scale you'd probably go to maybe a 7mm or even a 12mm. But the bases are the same. I think if I went any higher in the end scale it might look a bit out of place. But there's still more work to do on that section. If I kept on doing it all, this video would go for 3 days. So, but anyway, what else? Oh yeah, so something quickly, like mixing up the static grasses where I used the green and the straw colour, mixed it up, and I used that knock one I had plus the 2mm grass, just adds a bit of difference. I think the textures and the colours came out really nicely. So anyway, I hope you guys have all found this video interesting. If you have, please subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified of my upcoming videos. Give it a thumbs up, share this video with anyone you think might enjoy it, and please, as always, leave a comment down below. Anyway, so that's it for today's layout rehab video. As always, I have no idea what the next video will be or when it'll come out. Hopefully it'll be in a week, possibly 2, just depends on the time. So anyway, it's been great having you here. Thanks for watching Reid's Train Stuff. Bye.